Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, CNBC News Radio, and NBC Sports Station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki Live, Rumble, TuneIn, iTunes, and more. I am your host, Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I'm here to splatter more hope and happiness on you. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K-words, no Kanye talk at all, because I want you to have the most positive outlook on your life, because we only live once that we know of. Unless you're Shirley MacLaine, I'm not positive. I may come back as a dolphin, but we do know for sure that we're alive now and we have a limited time to enjoy it. So that's why we start with our gratitude sandwich, which is a Happy 88 tool that comes out of my #1 best-selling book, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And today's Asian Oprah giveaway is another audio book of this book. So the first person to go to drmarissa.life and put down dolphins will get the Asian Oprah giveaway today. And as I have made a habit since I've been your morning host now, I used to be a weekly host, but now that I'm in the morning, I like to start your day and mine with 8 specific gratitudes at the start of every show. Today's no exception. So I'm not able to chat with you this morning because I'm in Canada, but I am bringing you new shows and new guests in pre-records because I care and I don't want you to stop doing your gratitude. So we'll do 8 specific gratitudes together. So turn to the person beside you, or if you're at your computer, you can write them down if you don't want to talk out loud and make people think that you are crazy because you're talking out loud. Then you can say, I'm grateful for the sound of birds singing for no reason at all. I love this one. I'm grateful that I get to see birds flying in formation, which is also one of my favorite things. I am grateful that I get to see a beautiful sunset almost every night from my office window and my bedroom window. I am grateful that I have a big mouth and that I like to talk about hope and happiness. I'm grateful that I have wonderful supporters who pay me compliments and message me and thank me or recognize me and want selfies with me and all of that wonderful stuff that makes my heart sing, because then I know that I am being a beneficial presence on the planet, which is my mission in life. 6, I'm grateful that I'm one of the top 8% of the population that has a roof over my head, food in my belly, and a money in my wallet, and that I don't take that for granted, and I do my best to help those who don't have that to know that it is actually one of the things is money and fame, thanks to the really sad passing of Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade and Robin Williams. They are reminders to us that fame and fortune that we think are going to make us happy don't. So even if we have those things, it doesn't guarantee happiness. So it's an inside-out job that I know, and that it is my job to try to bring that to you and remind you of it. And finally, 8th gratitude is I'm grateful that I love the sound of laughter. And I know that each and every day I'm looking for something to laugh, not at, but with and about. All right? And that's it for taking the top part of my gratitude sandwich. The bottom part of my gratitude sandwich is things that I appreciate about myself. I hope that you are able to approve of yourself and isolate and highlight and celebrate those things you're good at. Too often, as you're going to see from my interview with my guest this after break, her name's Lynette LaRoche, and she specializes in helping women over 50 transition into a job that they are working for themselves. For many people, we get stuck in jobs where we're working for someone else's dream. And so she helps specifically women who want to spend the last part of their career following their dreams and their passions and still making money with that. So you're going to want to stay through break to hear her interview. So I am appreciative that I know how to appreciate myself, which is something that is so important and doesn't always come naturally for women. We'll talk about my Happy 88 tool. Have a guy day. A lot of you who've heard me speak remember that, and we'll talk about that after break. The last thing I'm going to say that I appreciate about myself is my resilience. A lot of you know that I'm very open about my childhood trauma. It is actually the reason behind writing this book. I'm not writing it as a psychologist helping you be happy or telling you how to be happy. I write it as one of the 7 out of 10 of us who have had childhood trauma. And I am here to represent and to prove that even if you are one of the majority of us who've had past pain, and a lot of it, that you do not have to drag all that into your present and future, that you can have happiness 88% of the time. That's your birthright. That's what I want you to remember. That's what I want you to know. That's what I want you to always keep forth in the foreground, background, sideground, immersed in it, because that's our birthright. All right. So when we return, I'm going to bring you my interview with Lynette LaRoche, who helps women. So this is definitely a women show, women helping women through the best parts of their life. Okay, so don't go away. We'll be right back with more. Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Welcome to Balanced Tai Chi Gong. My name is Dr. Marissa Pei. For the next 28 minutes, we will be slow dancing with the universe in a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. Just follow the sound of my voice and move with me as I guide you through this ancient wisdom through new thought practice. As a corporate psychologist, I created this practice in response to my life and those of my clients. We were professional, high achievement-oriented, multitasking control freaks and exhausted. No matter how many successes, it was never enough. That, coupled with a painful life experience, led me on a quest to find another way to live and back to my Chinese roots. If you practice regularly, I can promise you that it will impact all health vortexes. Body, mind, spirit, soul. You will be in a place of balance and inner peace the way we were created. 谢谢.
Be my partner, dance with me, just hold on, I
And yes, as you saw during break, the promo for Balanced Tai Chi Gong. My next class is May 28th, Saturday, on the beach in front of Plunge Restaurant in Long Beach, California. So if you want to register for that, go to drmarissa.life, and I'll see you there on the beach.
What if conforming to the world was exploring the world? What if the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, little girl, turns into how many streets of life do you have to explore? What if the purpose of life is not to die with the most toys to leave our squabbling relatives? What if the purpose of life was to do things that we enjoy most of the time? Have relationships that we enjoy most of the time? And use our unique talents, gifts, and abilities to fully express in the dash between birth and death. What if, as a direct result of this horrible pandemic, we could rise out of the ashes with a new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities? The sooner you turn "it's impossible" to "I'm possible," the what ifs become possible too. Because you are loving, lovable, and loved, wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness. But it may start getting out of bed and making it. What if starts with
And that new short film is available on my YouTube channel, PPP Post-Pandemic Possibilities. If you are someone who wants to help your employees come back with a little more positivity than maybe they're feeling and want to mark the return from the pandemic is just not business as usual, I do have discussion questions and a way to interact with this film when I come to your organization. It is great for schools and assemblies or any kind of professional group. I am available for you. Just book some time with me to chat at drmarissa.life or drmarissa1.youcanbook.me, and we'll chat, and I will absolutely promote post-pandemic possibilities for you and your employees.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Podchaser, iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki Live, Rumble, and more. Why do I want to be in so many places? Because it increases my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. Because I'm on a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So I have guests and topics that prepare you for even more happiness and certainly improving and starting your day in the most positive way. And as promised before the break, I have a very special guest for you today. Her name is Lynette LaRoche. This is my fourth pre-record, so I apologize. The names are starting to go, but that's a beautiful name. I thought it would be interesting to have a little different introduction. So I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. So when you call me Lynette, it says, "Who are you and what do you want?" So who are you And what do you want?
Wow, who am I? Well, I also have a mission, and my mission is to help hundreds of thousands, even millions of midlife women to live a life of brilliance, which is meaning to being true to themselves, to get out there and shine all over the world. And so I'm here to help them to break through any barriers that they feel, even though they're ready to leave corporate, but they're fearful of doing so. So I'm here to help them on that journey, to walk with them through the process and, setting them up for success. And so that's part of what I am passionate about and what I'm here for.
Beautiful. And did you know you wanted to do that when you were little?
No, I thought I would be a fashion designer because everyone in my family, I designed clothes up until I was 40 years old before I moved to California 17 years ago. So, so I thought I would be a fashion designer, and I also thought I would be a writer, for my entire life. And I did have a stint as a journalist for Education magazine in Chicago, but it was not my thing. Journalism is not the same as being, like these writers who write due to inspiration versus a theme or a deadline. So yeah, it's totally different. My life took me on a different path. Totally.
Wonderful. And do I detect a little bit of an accent?
Well, not unless it's a Midwestern accent.
Here, I thought it was Belize or something like that. No, it's Midwest.
Yeah, well, I'm a global woman, so I like to tell people I'm from wherever you want me to be.
Oh, so accommodating of you. Now, it sounds like you came through this mission honestly and personally. And that's one of the beautiful things about that I love to bring on the show is they've taken their own experiences, good, bad, and ugly, and now transformed it in a way to help people in the unique way that they can because they know what it's like. So let's start with that. And corporate America, midlife crisis. I don't know if midlife crisis. Midlife opportunity.
Exactly.
So talk to me about that part of your story.
Yes, so absolutely. So yes, I'm my ideal client. I've had a multiple decade run in the biotech, biopharmaceutical industry. And I've had a lot of successes, but the successes really didn't get me anything. It was rewarding to build these amazing teams and inspire them to deliver on corporate objectives. But I just kept giving more and more and sacrificing more and more of myself. But in the end of the day, there was really no reward, no sense of being able to savor the accomplishment. So my company that I just retired from, I was able to, even during the COVID pandemic, at the height of the pandemic, right around June, we had to deliver on, data for these massive clinical trials that were conducted all over the world. Countries were on shutdown, but they still wanted their data. And so they wanted to get those drug applications out so that they could get those approvals. And I did. I delivered on 2. Most people don't even work on a drug, a drug that goes for approval in their lifetime. I had 2, and I delivered on it. And then it became, okay, so you did that, but now we have another program, this cancer research program that they needed help with because, I'm such a high performer and I'm so great at building these teams. And I said, no, thank you. Now I just have to really focus on myself. So I put a deadline for myself for retirement and I took it. And so it was time. That journey has ended. That door is closed. And so I understand everything that we will talk about today because I had to go through it and build my own inner warrior to take this next journey.
Beautiful. Yeah, they say that, are you ready to stop working for someone else's dreams?
Exactly, exactly. We give so much of ourselves and we give the best, but we should be giving the best to ourselves, because if we're not giving the best to ourselves, how can we really give it to others?
Yeah, like that oxygen mask in the airplane.
Exactly.
For sure, for sure. And it's, it's interesting. It's something that happens so much to women, more so.
Yes.
I don't know, naturally nurturing. We carry the baby in the body, and all of those things that it's almost like we're not even aware that we do it. Right? Take care of the home, take care of work, take care of the people at work, take care of the people at home. So tell me, what the most common scenario of women that come to you along that vein, like where are they? Are they in where you were? Tell me what your ideal client looks like.
So my ideal client is in her 50s. She's had it again.
I'm ageless, so
yes. I'm ageless too. But if I had to put a number to it, but again, the midlife women who, again, they've had a successful career in corporate. They're usually at the director, senior director, executive director level, and so that means that they've done a lot. They pay their dues, but they have sacrificed so much. They have sacrificed sometimes their health, their mental wellness, time with family and friends, and maybe just like themselves in terms of sometimes they have to close their eyes and keep delivering on things that maybe they would not really want to. And so they're coming because they're really at the end of their rope, but they don't really know if entrepreneurship is for them. They don't have that confidence, even though they are sure-footed and know what they are capable of delivering for a corporation. They don't have that same faith in themselves, that same trust in themselves that they can do even better, And so they are the ones, they want that hand holding. They really do need someone to help walk with them on that journey. And because it's a big one for them, they feel that they have so much more to lose than a younger woman. And so they have a lot of fear. And really, so it's going to start a lot with like the mindset shifting, and it's going to take some time. And so this is not like an immediate gratification journey. It's going to take some time. And for each woman, it's going to be different depending on where they are in this business building journey.
Do you meet women who really don't like their jobs at all, but they feel like they don't have an option to change that because they're counting on that money that is, pretty big and enjoyed and used and almost harnessed by?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Of the few companies that still offer pensions, but even if it's not just the pension, the match to the 401k, that's going to help with that retirement, they don't feel that they can walk away from that. And the thing is, usually they're not walking away because they're so heavily vested, but they still have this fear because in the company that I just retired from, it's one of the few companies remaining that offer a pension. And some of these people have been at the company 20, 25, 30 years, and all they talk about how much they dislike their job, but the pension. Oh, I hate, but the pension. I can't wait till I can take that pension. But a lot of them may not have the health to enjoy it. So that's not the kind of life that they really seeing for themselves. And so they want to take that bet on themselves. They want to go out and do for themselves, but it's just fearful, and they just need to see like, I work in the scientific field. They want to see that, the results are, repeatable and it could be conducted by the next person and they can experience the same joy and results. And it is repeatable. I mean, you can Google like how many women at their midlife who have started companies. There's so many of them. And so it's there. The joy for everyone is there for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Now, like you said, some people don't have the luxury of a pension or a company, and they have a realistic fear that their jewelry making passion may not bring them the same kind of income as what they're currently doing as a nurse or teacher or something. How do you work with women like that?
So in those particular cases, so a lot of times, yes, when you have a good versus a service-based business, there are some differences. But the thing is, a lot of things is really about marketing. You got to be able to feel the need that people may not know that they have. And so, because there are so many people that never dreamed that they would be where they are now today in terms of their products. And all it takes is really having some really great marketing, knowing your audience, knowing who is going to be that customer, and being able to market directly to them for a specific need. And there's so much opportunity for everyone. So in terms of being able to replicate that salary that they may have had as a nurse or as, some other professional, there are ways to, and then you have less of the headaches associated with having to work for the man, big brother, big sister, or whatever it is. Just being able to, call your own shots, being able to say when and when you will not work. Because during the pandemic, a lot of people, especially women, found themselves not only continuing to have to master their job and be there, they were now working from home. They were now working even longer hours. But then they also, many of them had like teenagers at home that they had to see through homework and make sure that they're attending Zoom calls. And so they actually had more responsibility with this pandemic situation. And so with the Great Resignation, I mean, look how many people that just said, I'm not going back to the office. There has to be a better way. Right. And there is a better way. We just have to do the research that's necessary into our niche and to just make sure that we have the appropriate marketing and that we're really filling a need for that particular audience.
Beautiful. So we've spent some time setting the stage with Lynette LaRoche. She's a business strategist that I actually met at Secret Knock when I was down in San Diego. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, she's going to give us some tips on business strategy for those women who really want to focus on what they can do with the time that they have and enjoy a little more of life. That's when we come back here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, including my YouTube channel, where you can watch and listen to the past 691 shows. We just celebrated 9 years on the air. I'm so grateful you're still here with me. I'm Dr. Marissa, your producer, host of the show about hope and happiness. And today's special guest is Lynette LaRoche. She's a corporate transition strategist and high-performance coach, building upon 25 years in the biopharma biotech industry, where she was known for delivering on corporate objectives, which led to 2 drug approvals for her last employer. She's also worked for Mastermind.com as a trainer for Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins entrepreneur startup programs. It's a natural progression for Lynette to start her own business focused solely on helping the underserved woman over 50 to step into their entrepreneurial brilliance through her signature program, LaRoche Method. Additionally, Lynette continues to coach clients on their performance for the next role for greater leadership, responsibility, and income. Please welcome back Lynette. So, talk to me about LaRoche Method.
Yes, the LaRoche Method is a 6-month program where I take the women who join my program on an 8-week immersion. So it starts with an 8-week immersion of 4 pillars. And so the first pillar is the tapestry, which is about how they're going to weave their current job with starting their business. How are they going to be able to do them both? And I'm going to help them find that time to be able to do them both without adding significantly more things on their to-do list for every day. And then the second pillar is my diamond pillar, in which I help them to really define what that business would be like for them. You know, it has to be something that they're going to be able to monetize, but it should also bring them joy and be able to fulfill a need for a customer base, but provide them a lifestyle that they will be able to truly enjoy. And then it goes on to the lotus pillar, where we're just making sure that they have all of the emotional and the support that they need within their particular industry. And then I top it off with what I call my Phoenix Rising, which is I help them to develop their exit strategy from corporate. So from their transition plan, there's the financial planning piece, all of the things that's going to be necessary so that they will be set up for success and being able to make that exit. So there's a lot that goes into, because a lot of people don't necessarily address this part. They'll tell you to burn the boats, just quit your job and start your business. No, you need to not only have some income as you're starting your business, because that's going to help you fund those expenses, but you need to start saving in addition to whatever money you're generating from clients. So you want to have that savings in terms of backup funds, but then you want to also being able to make sure that you're generating consistent amount of income from anywhere from 6 to 18 months. So depending on the kind of business you make. So I make sure that I really, that's a meaty part of the program. And then throughout the program, there's one-on-one support, as well as masterminds by, financial experts for women specifically. There's like system building, social media management, like all of those things that they're going to need to be able to get themselves out there. Because, we live in the digital world. We have to embrace it. We have to be nimble. We have to be tech savvy. And so that's what it's all about. So it's a very comprehensive program that's going to take care of every part of the woman.
Wonderful. It sounds the antithesis of the traps that some people fall into when they quit their job because they hate it. And then they think they can just make money at whatever I mentioned, jewelry making or some kind of art without any business strategy.
Right.
Or looking at communication you need, because you can have this idea in the world, but if you don't know how to communicate it and PR and marketing and all that. So it's good that you've covered all of those. Sounds like very comprehensively. So you're also then not susceptible to be taken by, I have to say, in our industry, it scares me sometimes that what people promise and offer for $50,000 or whatever you've already saved. And, I've fallen victim to that too. Someone comes in and says, let me help you for free. And then $25,000 later, what happened to free? And so I'm glad that your approach is more comprehensive, that there is a educational component to that, a coaching component to that. And now I know some people are saying, but I can't afford that, and that's a lot of money, it's another career, it's just easier just to stay where I am. What would make an older woman or a younger woman hesitant to do something like this?
So for an older woman, what would make them hesitant is really, okay, they've already put in so many years into this career, and they don't necessarily feel that they can start over. They're worried about, someone will say that they don't have the money. But if you go to your SBA, your Small Business Association, there's lots of free money out there. It's easy to write a grant application, but you can get help with that. So there's money. So you can't use money as an excuse. And especially if you have, like I said, like a good where like it's jewelry making or some other. And in fact, they're really there for women businesses. So ladies, get out there to your SBA and get the money. But the other thing is they don't feel like their skills are translatable. They have done massive amounts of things for the corporation, really just over-delivered, but they don't feel that those skills are translatable. But yes, they are. Some of the same skills that you build and you develop in your professional or corporate life are the same skills that you need as an entrepreneur. You need like planning skills, you need budgeting skills, you need team oversight, leadership. All of those skills are absolutely necessary. You need to be able to influence and negotiate. All of those kind of things you need as an entrepreneur. And then some will say they don't necessarily have the support. So you need to make sure that you're connected to, again, like the different associations that might be associated with your particular field. So if you're an interior designer and you want to go out and start your own design firm, you make sure that you're signed up with the Interior Design Association of America or whichever one. There's an international one that's really great too. And then some would say that they're going to lose the little time that they currently have for themselves if they now also are going to be starting a business on the side. But the biggest thing is really the fear of failure and the lack of confidence in themselves. They're confident in their jobs, but they just don't have that confidence that they can do it on their own.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Because women, we more likely than men will be the first to not feel that we have everything that's necessary. It has been widely studied that when there is a job posting and you look at the description of all of the experience that's required, if there are 15 requirements and a woman has 14 out of 15, she'll say, oh no, I'm not qualified. A man will say, oh my God, I got one. Woo! I'm going to go and I'm going to apply for that job. And so we're so hard on ourselves. And we have to be kinder to ourselves, to exert that same diligence and that same everything that we're willing to give to others. We need to start giving that to ourselves. And that is what's going to start building that courage and start building that confidence. And, but it really is going to start from within. But that is one of the biggest things that starts women, even changing careers, even if it's the same thing. Yes.
It's interesting. I have a tool, a happy tool that's in my 8 Ways to Happiness called Have a Guy Day. Have a Guy Day. And the reason why I say that is not to bash guys, but that we could learn, just like you pointed in that example. Most women think they are not as intelligent, not as beautiful, and fatter than they actually are. So they think they are. Men, on the other hand, not all men, think they are better looking, more buff, and have more hair than they actually do. And you can see this in action at the gym, right? Girls, a woman walks in front of the mirror, they look down, they walk quickly, guys see the mirror and posing and all that. So it's definitely something that it's strange, but it's true, and something to work on getting over. So that's why I say have a guy day.
I like that.
Thank you. If you if someone compliments you on what you're wearing, don't say, oh, this little, it's so old, or I got it at, 99-cent store or anything. It's like, wear it, be proud of it, own it. It's you.
Yes.
And it is so important for us. Whether we were born with it or whether we learned it through society, it doesn't matter. Let's just change. Let's not, minimize ourselves, because honestly, if we can't approve of ourselves, how the fork do we expect other people to approve of us?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you attract the energy that you're putting out. So if you're not close to your own inner being, you can't expect other people to see you in a certain light if you're not seeing it within yourself. You might be able to fool them for a little while, but not forever.
So we're almost out of time. So I'm going to ask you 2 last questions. One question is, what's one question every woman, especially those over 50, should ask themselves?
Well, the question that they should ask themselves is, have I lived a life to my highest potential, one that is true to my inner being, that was lived with intensity? Can I answer yes to that question?
Let's say that again. I think that's a very important question. Say it again, please.
Yes. Have I lived my life to my highest potential, being true to my inner being and living with intensity? Can I say yes?
I'm happy to say I can say yes.
Yes. Wonderful. Yes. Yes.
But yes, because life is short. And if COVID has not done us anything but that, let's not, I call it, I have a new short film, one of the hashtag COVID silver linings. I had the time to put a short film together. It's called PPP, Post-Pandemic Possibilities.
Wow.
Because we want to just grab, it's not, otherwise we're going back and going, Look at all the time we lost. Look at the 2.5 years we've lost. Look at all the losses. And it's like, you can choose to look at it that way, or you can say, have I learned something from this pandemic that I want to and not forget? So
Absolutely.
that's my takeaway. Last question that I asked all of my guests, which is, to who or what are you most grateful for? To who or what are you most grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful to the universe for the life that is in this body and just being able to experience life each and every day.
Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me. What is kind of cool, your one pillar is actually the name of my last chapter, which is, in conclusion, Phoenix Rising.
Oh,
so that's your pillar in that book. So I was like, oh wow, that's why we met. And that's
absolutely. Yes.
So, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. How do we find you?
Yes, so you can definitely check me out at the LaRocheMethod.com, or you can see me on Instagram at Lynette LaRoche, and also on LinkedIn at Lynette LaRoche. So either one, you will get to me, and I will be happy to chat.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. And this is what I do at the end of every show. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out.
Yes.
World peace.
That's right.
Through inner peace. Thank you so much, Lynette LaRoche.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Course. And this is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room during the pandemic. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and you know that I want you to go forth and multiply the business strategist that you are. Have the best day ever. See you tomorrow. And I have another special interview with a friend from Secret Knock that I met, who was busy through the entire conference making beautiful paintings. And I have his little interview that I did with him on site for you to enjoy. So without further ado, here's my interview with Sergio Gutierrez. Enjoy. I met him through one of my favorite people on the planet, Steve Farber, who has been a guest on my show, and you can actually watch his interviews on my YouTube channel. His name is Steve Farber. He's the one that actually wrote a wonderful article about me and perfectionism in Inc. magazine, and you can find that just by Googling Inc., Dr. Marissa, perfectionism, and Steve Farber. I hope you enjoyed the interview, and there's more when we come back here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, KCAA AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, Podchaser, iTunes, TuneIn, Rumble, and Tiki Live, and more. Why? Because I want the maximum splatter zone for this show about hope and happiness. I'm Dr. Marissa, your celebrity host of this show that has no gossip, no scandal, no K-words, no Kanye talk at all, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And there are topics and guests to that end. And while I am in Toronto right now visiting my mom, who has Parkinson's, and I haven't been able to see her because of the beloved pandemic, I am there now, but I wanted to bring you new shows and not repeat. So that's why you're getting wonderful interviews with different experts about different things that help you be happy 88% of the time, from chefs to nutritionists to doctors to motivators. All the gamut is here. And today I have a special guest and more. That's when we come back after break. But before we do, you know that I like to start the day with taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So turn to the people near you or type it out and tell me what are 3 specific things that you're grateful for. When you do this at home, I actually want you to do 8, because 8's a lucky number in Chinese. It's a homophone for good fortune, and I'm an overachiever. Even though Dr. Wayne Dyer, beloved Dr. Wayne Dyer, said 5 grateful things every morning, I say 8. But because we don't have that much time, we're just going to do 3. I am grateful for the delicious taste of my sparkling drinks that I enjoy. No, I'm not drinking on the job. I actually haven't had alcohol in over 13 years, in case you're wondering what's in these. But I'm grateful that I love and am able to taste everything that I drink and eat. That's one. I'm grateful that I did not have to tell my body how to digest food or replenish or grow my hair and nails. Instead, it happens on its own, because we're part of this beautiful energy called creation, and our bodies are magic. And third, I appreciate that I am alive today, that the planets did not crash last night into each other, but I get another day to live, love, laugh, learn, grow, innovate, change, expand, enjoy, be in bliss and wonder, be in peace and love. I think that is 8. So that is the top of the bun in my gratitude sandwich. And you know, at the end of the night, I want you to appreciate things about yourself so that you're not always looking for love and approval in all the wrong places. Because if you can feed yourself, you'll never go hungry. So I am grateful for, So I appreciate that I have no fear, and I love to try everything once. So I have a lot of magnificent stops on the joyride of life. I appreciate that I didn't wish to go to the Great Barrier Reef to scuba dive. I set an intention and I went. So I appreciate that I follow my own life motto, which is don't die wondering. And finally, I appreciate that I am appreciative, and that I know that the energy behind appreciating is what brings even more to me that I can appreciate. Yes, that is an Abraham law of attraction. All right, now when we come back, I'm bringing you the interview with, when we return here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.